The impact of social media on our mental health, self-esteem, and relationships. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to Linguatoons, the podcast where we help you improve your English by listening to real conversations about real-life topics in a relaxed and natural way. Today, we're going to explore something that affects almost everyone, especially young people, every single day. The impact of social media on our mental health, self-esteem, and relationships. We use apps like Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and others constantly, but do we really think about how they affect us? To help me talk about this topic, I'm so happy to have one of my closest friends, Emma, with me today. She's not only smart and funny, but also super honest and real. Welcome, Emma. I'm so happy to have you here.
Hey, Sophie. Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm really happy to be here. This is such an important topic, and I think it's something that we all experience, but we don't always talk about it openly. Social media is such a big part of our lives now, and sometimes it feels like it controls how we think, how we feel, and even how we see ourselves. So I'm excited to share my experience and hopefully help someone feel less alone.
Yeah, I love that. And yes, social media has changed so much in the last few years. Let's start from the basics. How much time do you spend on social media in a regular day? And which platforms do you use the most?
Oh, wow. I think I spend around 2 or 3 hours a day, sometimes even more if I'm not careful. I usually open Instagram first, then I check TikTok and maybe Twitter. Sometimes I just want to see a few posts, but then I end up scrolling for an hour without noticing. It's crazy how fast time flies when you're just watching videos or looking at photos. I feel like it has become part of my routine without me even realizing it.
Yes, that's so relatable. It's like we go on social media just to check one thing and suddenly it's midnight and we've done nothing else. Have you ever noticed how social media affects how you feel about yourself, like your appearance, your achievements, or your life?
Yes, many times. There are days when I feel totally fine, but then I open Instagram and see people traveling, working out, having perfect skin, and I start comparing myself without wanting to. Even though I know most of the photos are edited or planned, it still makes me feel like I'm not doing enough or that I'm not good enough. It's like social media creates this illusion of perfection, and we start thinking that's the normal way to live. And that really affects my mood and confidence sometimes.
That makes so much sense. I felt the same, especially when I'm tired or feeling a bit down. Let's talk about relationships. How do you think social media has changed the way we connect with friends, family, or partners?
Well, I think social media makes it easier to stay in touch, especially with people who live far away. But at the same time, I feel like our connections are sometimes more superficial. We like each other's photos, send emojis, but we don't always have deep conversations or real emotional connection. Also, there's this pressure to look happy and successful all the time, even if you're going through something difficult. It can also create problems in romantic relationships. Jealousy, overthinking, or even misunderstanding something just because of a photo or comment.
That's so true. I've seen couples fight over small things just because of what one person posted. Now, I'm curious, have you ever taken a break from social media, like a detox?
Yes. I actually did a full social media detox last year. I deleted Instagram and TikTok from my phone for 2 weeks, and honestly, it was one of the best things I've done for my mental health. The first few days were strange. I kept grabbing my phone without thinking, like a habit. But after that, I started sleeping better. I had more free time, and I felt more present during the day. I realized that I was spending too much energy watching other people's lives instead of living my own.
Wow, that sounds really powerful. I've never done that, but now I really want to try. What do you think are some signs that someone needs a break from social media?
If you feel anxious, sad, or jealous after using social media, that's a big sign. If you compare yourself constantly, or if you're always checking your phone, instead of talking to people around you, it might be time for a break. Sometimes we don't notice how it affects us until we step away from it for a while. It's okay to say, I need some space, and protect your mental health. You can always come back later with a better mindset.
Such wise words. Emma. So for people listening who might feel bad about themselves after using social media, what advice would you give them?
I would tell them, please don't compare your life to what you see online. People usually only post their best moments, not their struggles or insecurities. Try following accounts that make you feel inspired, not pressured. Also, talk to your friends or a therapist if you're feeling overwhelmed. And remember, you are enough just the way you are. You don't need to prove anything to anyone online.
Thank you so much, Emma. That message really touched me. Let's finish with this. What helps you stay confident and connected to yourself in the social media world full of filters and likes?
For me, it's about doing things I love outside the screen, like reading, walking, or spending time with people who really know me. I also write in a journal sometimes, especially when I feel confused or stressed. I remind myself that social media is not real life. It's just a small part of it. When I feel connected to my real world, my self-esteem is much stronger. It's not always easy, but little by little, it makes a big difference.
Emma, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us today. Your honesty, your kindness, and your calm energy are exactly what we need more of in this world. To everyone listening, remember that your value is not in how many likes you get, but in who you are when no one is watching. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to follow us here on Linguatoons. Share this podcast with a friend and leave us a comment with your thoughts. And of course, don't forget to take care of your mind and your heart, not just your Instagram feed. See you next time, friends.
Bye!